Now, imagine this. You are a famous Valorant pro gamer and you won two grand championships or tournaments in a row. And you are now at your peak of your accomplishments and in life in general. And you're like, wow, I'm just, Thanos, I just won these tournaments like it's nothing, and I have a good career going on with Valorant. And let's just say you've been accused of SA. That's right. So there's this Valorant player named Florescent, and she's been getting allegations of getting, a little cool with a person that she once loved, or I guess. Anyway, so you might be wondering, how did this drama even started? So this happened on Twitter. So if you guys haven't been living under a rock, hopefully not. There's this Twitter handle named Karie, and basically they made it a Google Doc about Florescent, and they wanted to quote unquote, I want to bring light on some very important stuff involving Florescent and her disgusting actions from the past year. Trigger warning mentions and sexual assault. And of course, we're going to take this seriously because, SA is really not a good topic to talk about. All right, so this is the document. This is made by Karie, so hopefully this doesn't seem sketchy or not. As always, the first impression is something that you should take in, because if the first impression of the claim isn't really credible, it's like, what's the point of reading this? But anyway, this impression of Florescent, this case right here made Florescent look bad. So let's go ahead and read this document. Hello, this post is to make light of Ava Florescent has done to one of the most important people in my life, someone that deserves justice for what has happened, deserves closure of people knowing what happened. I'm not doing this for internet points, clouds, impressions. Don't care about that. I love this girl immensely and I want people to know the truth. All right, so she's doing it for this person who got SA'd. I knew Ava personally and was close to her at one point, so I have a lot of insight into her character. Honestly, this was never surprising. She's awfully a vile person, very disgusting. Okay, we still don't know why. Goes a lot deeper than this. Okay, right now the girl is taking time to compile a lot of things to back up the claims. Okay, makes sense. Don't want to be a baseless case. Yep, sure. Reason this information is being withheld is because the victim needs time. But you just said that again, and then they said please give time to come forward for more information. And Brick is a fake name for to keep the girl's identity private still. Yeah, okay. Anyway, so let's keep the facts straight. On January 3rd, Brick was SA'd by Florescent. This was a recollection of events told from Karie's perspective. Double checked everything. Okay, cool. On that same day, Brick went to Ava's house. Brick knew it would end up as because they talked about days prior. Okay, then why go? Okay, and so Brick says he doesn't want to do anything as usual. Okay, and then Ava said,
all right, I don't really see.
Now, when I read this document, it was not very professional. Like honestly, there is no organizations. Like some of the text, like right here, this is unnecessary. I don't really need this information. What I need is information that is pertaining around the SA, like when did this started, what's relevant to it. This is not really relevant. Whatever, I guess it's somewhat relevant, but I don't know. Anyway, so in response, but despite not being, she opted to go and get over with because she wanted to be with Ava. Brick told me that she got to Ava's house, changed the phone password so she couldn't access it. Ava claimed that it was because she doesn't want to know Brick to know where she lived. Ava had Uber here there. Okay. Brick brushed it off as soon as Ava initiates things to which Brick has consented and participated in. So she participated in. So is it really SA if she really consented and participated in? Well, dude, I don't know. And then it's in this middle of the paragraph right here. It ended up having sex. She told me that she was in a lot of physical pain the whole time. Kept telling Ava that it hurt. Ava chose to ignore it. Like right here, this is like the crucial part of the sentence. But yeah, let's see. After Ava finished, Brick went to clean herself. No, she was bleeding. Went back to her room, too embarrassed to say anything, took a nap together. I don't know about you, but if I started bleeding, I would actually tell my partner about it. But, this took place when they were both minors, Florescent and Brick. That's what I'm told. Brick says that she told me to woke up with her mom calling on her phone. She had to go home. So she woke up Ava to Uber her home, to which Ava kept telling her that she didn't want Brick to leave. and wanted to have sex, despite Brick have to go. And then her mom was starting to get mad, and then Ava continued to ignore her request, kept telling Brick they would regret it if they didn't have sex. Okay, so right here, this is also another, crucial victim statement right here. Ava forcing Brick to, have sex. So it's just she said, he said, we don't really know like if it's actually true or not. If she kept having sex, she would start bleeding, would be too painful. It makes sense. I cannot stress how badly I did not want to have sex. Wanted to go home. Yep, cool. Okay, so this is what Brick told me, explaining everything to me. So this is Brick's conversation with Karie, and keep in mind this is very biased. Like obviously they planned something. They could have planned something out. I mean, you never know. But anyway, we are here. I saw her. It was fun. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. We're skipping all that stuff. She immediately tried to initiate stuff. I was upset. Whatever. I started regret going. Then why did you go? That doesn't make sense. Anyway, the entire time with her, she wanted to make me jealous to get a reaction to me. Well, you didn't really specify like where's that at? To make fun of you? Well, what do you mean? I don't see that. But anyway, let's continue on. I don't feel like a human being, man. I'm just toying with. Okay, then why'd you go? And it's hard to sort out my feelings when this happens. I had to leave when my mom wanted me to go home. Okay, so nice. We have some backed up evidence that you wanted to go home. Okay. So I told her she was napping or something, and I was gonna go now. Okay, so right here, when she's like, I want to go now, and now it makes Florescent looks like a criminal, right, guys? Like, you literally, if you're not letting your partner go after having sex, it's like you're now the aggressor of this relationship, stuff like that. But yeah, none of these text screenshots are really that important. The only important screenshots are the victim and the aggressor, which was Ava, and they just bring some short context to it. Ava ignored Brick's efforts, and Ava ended up top of her. We have a lot of claims. Like, they claimed that Ava was on top, trying to take Brick's pants. Brick tell her that she had to leave. Once like 25 minutes have gone by, Ava's like, we could have done something by now. Brick didn't know what to do because her phone was locked. I don't know why. Why is that the case? You could have just called someone. Brick felt trapped. She kept refusing. Didn't want to disappoint. She realized she had no power. But didn't you say your phone was locked? I don't understand. Maybe she I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Why would your phone? Okay, in a generation where I live, I'm a Gen Z, right? Bro, no one's phones is gonna be like low power, bro. Let's be honest. No phone's gonna be low power. Like, you're gonna go with this girl and your mom called you. Like, there's no way your phone would have no power. It makes no sense. These claims doesn't make sense. Okay, but whatever. Let's just clear that. Whatever. So after dinner, 30 minutes of resisting her advances, Brick gave up, let Ava do what she wanted, never gave verbal consent. I mean, consistently saying no and resisting it. Yeah, that's bad. So right here, like, okay, so like surely she would stop at some point when you're consistently saying no and resisting it. Okay, so this is a document made from Karie. Okay, so let's just keep that in mind. Oh, and you guys thought I was done? No, there's a second document titled Florescent number 2, and it's basically Brick's personal statement. I'm not even sure if it's Brick, but let's just go on with the show. And yeah. Man, I do sure love some reading. Anyway, so let's go ahead and read this document. Hello, this is Brick. Decided to remain anonymous. We'll share everything from our perspective. Going public was the most challenging thing. Tried to handle this situation with respect, wanted her to get help, and I didn't want to drag her. That's why it's been taking me so long to find the strength to come forward about this. Okay, you wanted her to get help, that's good, but why don't you want to drag her? Isn't that the opposite of wanting her to get help? Okay, whatever. Try to keep things offline. Try to talk to Ava privately via DMs. When she confront her about this, she denied it. She keep telling me that she forgot everything. When I asked her if she would arrive to Toronto so that Brick can file a police report, Ava decided to block you. I'll provide you with screenshots and conversations I can. Over the past year and a half, been working what happened during my relationship. Sure. I have confidence to share my story despite the backlash I will receive. I know people won't like to see this, but it's for my closure. Sure. Dated for 9 months. Our relationship was incredibly toxic, abusive, and controlling. Let's hear that again. Our relationship was incredibly toxic, abusive, and controlling. Not one person, but both of them were toxic, abusive, and controlling. No wonder why this relationship was very dysfunctional. Anyway, so they said that they both break up several times and got back together. And then Brick states that after breaking up with Ava, she found lewd photos of other women on her phone. Okay, that's a shocking accusation. Another time I tried to break up with her for cheating on me with her friend. Ava was 16 at the time, and her friend was 20s, according to her. Oh no. These things make things difficult for me, okay? This was my first relationship ever. I was a very socially inexperienced 15-year-old. And towards the end of the relationship, we were on and off every single day. Yeah, no wonder why this relationship was toxic. Anyway, so let's read some screenshots where Brick originally tried to confront Ava what happened on January 3rd. Alright, we're on the screenshots, and as you can see, this is Instagram, and Brick is sending some photos of the allegations, claiming that Florescent, S8 her. Florescent's like, I don't recall that happening, don't know what else to tell you, was barely awake the whole time you were over. Does that justify it? She replies, I just know that we had a couple of SEX a couple of times, so it did this multiple times. Then you left, and that's the last time I saw you. And then she replied to that statement saying, well, I just don't know if this even happened. It doesn't justify what's said in the images though. We did stuff that we both liked, and I always thought of stuff you need. I tried to feed you every day, give you best treatment, basically saying that she takes care of her. And then Brick's like saying, I'm telling you for 30 minutes I need to go home, my phone was locked. I can't call anyone, and you're the only way I can go home because of Uber. Florescent's like, I really tried, I'm sorry it didn't work out. Okay, so this case is kind of like debunked, to be honest. I don't think there's an actual SA in this relationship. Mostly, I think this is a relationship that was just toxic, and Brick just wanted some revenge and basically ruined Florescent's career. Girlfriend didn't like the relationship, was sexual. Florescent's like, thank you for reaching out. And then Brick's like, I won't get closure because you don't remember it. Why don't you remember it? Maybe because those were lies. Maybe you said something that was completely not, you weren't saying the truth. I'll be blunt, you're probably not saying the truth. And so this is why, Florescent says this. I don't want to put you down because you're not doing well. You feel horrible, and what you're personally going through, but what you're telling me isn't what happened. So, maybe she's lying. Chat, it doesn't look like it's a real claim. I will sympathize with you 100%, but I still don't believe you. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so she then makes a paragraph or a heading called "The Story Behind the Fake Pregnancy." Fighting truly began to pick up when Ava accused me of lying, being pregnant. Yeah, I wonder why. Because you lied about being pregnant? Ava pushed aside the idea of using protection and would say that raw feels better, saying that I can pull out. Due to those factors, we would constantly have unprotected sex. With me being 15 at the time, the idea of being pregnant scared me terribly. Well, no der. Why would you have unprotected sex when you're being 15? There's no way you would do it unprotected. What? And so when a certain period of time I began throwing up and feeling ill, exhibiting signs of early pregnancy, I texted her, I'm pregnant. I took a test which came back positive and start freaking out, which resulted in a panicked and incredibly poor decision making. Like, bro, what? No way. And then not knowing how she would react, I searched on the internet for a photo of a random pregnancy test. Like, you're out of your mind. I would not date you if you send me like a random pregnancy test and it shows back, oh, it's positive. It's positive. I'm not lying to you. This is my real pregnancy test. So let me just show you a random pregnancy test photo to see your reaction. This is what she says. I tried to make a joke out of it, potentially being pregnant, just to see what her reaction would be if the test was a false positive. What are you saying? After that, I took 2 more tests that both came back negative, clarified her that I was not pregnant. Yeah, no wonder why she got angry with you. No wonder why she was stressed out. And no wonder she said, you lied about being pregnant. Like, what is wrong with you? Yeah, anyway, we're just gonna skip this paragraph. This paragraph just basically shows her, like, dark side. You can tell, like, there's something wrong with Brick. I'm not gonna lie. Alright, I'm gonna do a quick summary. So the events leading up to January 3rd, 2024, this is basically a copy-paste from Karie that made the doc. That starts off with Brick going to Ava's house. This is September 3rd at SNE. This doesn't occur during the SA. This is before it. This is when they were broken up. And Ava wanted to do something a little bit more SEX mode when watching a movie with Brick. We got Ava's emotional manipulation. This is where they talk about how Ava is, a manipulator, trying to suicide bait or something like that. And then when Ava tries to take care of Brick, Ava doesn't do that. Instead, she just ignores it or something like that when she got into a bad car accident. And so this made Brick to relapse and self-harm herself, which is highlighted there. Instead of offering her support, she broke up, left her distraught, left Brick distraught. And then these are screenshots of past ex-girlfriends from Ava. Honestly, there was no SA from none of these relationships, because look at this. I dated for Flor 3 years, was going well for a couple of months. COVID hit, they pull apart. It would end up SEX consensually, so no SA, like I said. And yeah. But the most controversial tweet that Florescent has made when she was like a minor, I guess. And she says, "Why isn't R legal? I am a true menace to society. I'm so blank, I would F a blank." And then you can see that this guy, this person, this user is a friend of Florescent at that time. But yeah, this got many people upset because, you know, why isn't blank legal? Which is not a good thing to say when you're a highly pro gamer. So let's just keep it at that. And so you might be wondering what's Florescent's response is to all these allegations. Well, here it is. "I'm aware of all the allegations that were made against me, and I take them very seriously. However, I strongly deny any and all accusations of SA. I'm currently taking this matter with my full attention. I'm also exploring immediate legal assistance to help determine the best way for me to proceed, both in determining what I can share publicly and how to best go about clearing my name. I will then provide an update when capable. I wished I could provide evidence for the public to see immediately, but I have been asked to refrain from sharing at this time for my own safety. I ask you that please respect the other party's privacy at this time." And this was posted on May 17th, the same day when the allegations were made against her. But yeah, in a few days later, Florescent made like another Google Doc to respond to the allegations. And let's go ahead and read this, man. Oh boy, I love reading Google Docs. Let's go and click on it. Yay! Alright, so this is Florescent's document, and this is what she says. She says, "Before I delve into the content that was recently released about me, I would like to deny there's any sort of SA between me and Brick. I want to preface that my relationship with Brick was extremely toxic from both ends, back and forth, that included many instances of controlling, guilt-tripping, and manipulation. I tried to write this doc in my perspective on the events that occurred, providing clarification and additional insight with evidence of Brick's self-destructive behavior and instability. All the events present has been taking place when I was a minor, starting way back when I was 13 years old. This past week has been a huge learning experience for me. The allegations pushed away a lot of people that I thought I was close to. I am grateful for this. To talk to some of my closest friends, they were able to help me see how my behavior in the past was wrong, hurtful, manipulative. Thank you to the people who have reached out and opened my eyes." So right here, Florescent is doing a good job right here, just basically admitting that, when I was young, young stuff happens, and I wasn't thinking straight, right? So I applaud for her for apologizing about it. The initial paragraphs are there to narrate the events and hold Brick accountable for her actions as well by providing proof and context towards the allegations that's made towards me. Anything bolded, quoted as taken verbatim from Brick's original documents that I would like to highlight and debunk. So she debunks this Brick's initial statement saying that,
"I recall the breakup with her finding lewd photos of other women.
Brick would go to her phone while I was asleep without any prior consent or knowledge. So there was no lewd images saved in her camera roll. It was just some fan art. Could have been suggestive imagery or poses. So honestly, I don't really care about this, to be honest."
Another time I tried to break up with her for cheating with her friend. Ava was 16 at the time, and her friends was in the 20s according to her. Ava called my mom.
That's whatever, I don't really care about that one. This incident occurred first few months ago in our relationship, where Brick has gone through my phone again and while I was asleep yet again. She saw a text between me and my friend, who I just call B. We're just trying to catch up casually. Brick's accusation towards me cheating on her led me to permanently block my friend throughout my relationship. That's crazy. So this was probably not really credible, like I said. Let's see. Fake pregnancy. Yeah, I don't really have to go over here, man. Like, honestly. And also, she's like, "I have never pressured Brick about unprotected sex through our relationship." Boy, okay, so why did you not blank with condom this time, pal? I mean, you never asked. This is 1 week after she first time used unprotect sex, yeah. And then we keep scrolling down. All I'm saying, if you want to, we can. I don't really want to. I don't want to, but if you want to, I will. So yeah, just basically asking permission about wearing protection. Yeah, honestly, I don't feel like reading all this stuff, man. This is just too weird to watch. So yeah, I'm just gonna skip to the part where it says the January 3rd allegations, because none of these are really important. Like, if you think about it, why would I really care about the events, leading up to that, or the September 2023 CNE? I don't really care about that. The only thing I care about is the allegations. So let's go to that.
First, I think I said it before. I want to rephrase that I did not engage in non-consensual blank with Brick. I'm gonna tell what happened that day. Anything bolded here is once again from Brick's statement.
But despite not wanting it, I opted to go and get it over with because I just wanted to be with her.
All right, what did she say?
I explicitly told her that I did not want to get back together. That if we saw each other, we would just have blank. The night before we meet up, we were going back and forth, acting extremely blank.
So yeah, I don't know about that. This is Brick's statement.
When I got to her house, she changed my phone password so I couldn't access it and check the location because she doesn't want me to know where she lived.
I told her to change her phone password when she came over because I was anxious of her stalking tendencies that she has made evident through both of our relationship and the aftermath. Additionally, it has protected me from continuous swatting threats and doxing from people that she associates with.
The entire experience was truly painful for me. I kept telling her it hurt. After she finished, I went to clean myself up and I saw I was bleeding.
This is what Florescent says. She's like, this was the first of 3 times we have blank that day. For some reason, she didn't include the second time, but I'm unsure why. Brick never told me that at any point that she was in pain or uncomfortable. She was on top of me and we could have stopped at any point. There was no blood at all because I would have noticed until or after our blank. I cleaned up all 3 times that we had blank that day, so we both fell asleep. Well, there you go, have it, guys. I'm not gonna lie, I think this is all just some bogus joke. I ain't gonna lie, not even a joke, just some fake stuff. And let's go ahead and talk about Karie. So when we look at this document, there's a note about Karie with ongoing screenshots of my past behavior getting released. I felt like it was necessary to talk about Karie's personal involvement in all aspects. She actively encouraged my behavior when I was 14, 15 towards at coffee, actively aided Brick's self-destructive behavior and self-harm by encouraging it and funding it. Not only she was a terrible influence online, she has threatened me personally in real life by holding a knife on my neck, the one and the only one time I have ever been to her house alone with her. Yeah, that's deep. But yeah, that's it, guys. I honestly don't want to read anything because this video would be long, and honestly, I do not have the brain power to go all into this because I'm quite tired of reading all this, of this parasocial relationship. Oh, and if you guys thought that was over, no, they made another Google Doc, and it's against Florescent's response. So they did this again, but they access denied it. So yeah, I'm not gonna go ahead and talk about the situation anymore as it is already done. After this, she deleted this response, and she went to go on Twitter to address these allegations about what happened between her and Brick, the knife incidents, and Olivia's quote retweet. I don't really care about that. But yeah, this is just a mess, man. This is some teenage drama type energy right here. And honestly, chat, just I think you should take a break from the internet, from this drama. And I don't see Florescent getting canceled more than it is right now, because honestly, she really just provided every single information really well, and she took responsibility for her actions and promised to become a better person. So that's a good thing for her. Like this one person says, is like, okay, at this point, it's time to stop caring. Like, it's just gonna be a response after a response, and we'll just be infested with their toxic relationship. This is not Valorant news, teenage drama news that should be handled by the proper authorities and Riot. So yeah, I don't know. Like, let's just leave it at that. 19-page response is the very first thing they respond with to describing a movie they were watching. Like, they're eating a joke Flor made. These real details the public needs to know. Like, yeah, they made so much out of context information that didn't even seem like it was relevant to the NSA allegations. But yeah, let's just leave it at that. Thank you for watching. I think Florescent is not going to get canceled for all this allegations that were false to start with, and they didn't even take it to the police station or the authorities. They just took it on their hands and used the side of the public's opinion to see if they are on the right. But yeah, if you guys like this video, please leave a like, leave a dislike if you hate it, and I'll see you guys later.